guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're going to be talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife. So let's get into that. Ghostbusters Afterlife takes place 30 years after the events of the original Ghostbusters, following the daughter and granddaughter of Spengler, one of the original Ghostbusters, and their kind of discovery of what he's been kind of cooking up for the past couple of years. Now, it's strange seeing these Ghostbuster movies back to back to back pretty much. You see a lot of similarities between all of them. Of course, we've talked about it already. And the first two are practically the same story. The 2016 is a remake, so it's going to be the same story. And this one, well, it's a little bit different because you're in a different setting. It's following different characters. It's not necessarily the exact same plot. There's still certain similarities, but that's okay because I think it does a different enough job to merit being on its own. Now, that being said, let's go ahead and get into the pros for me. And I really enjoy, like I said, the new setting. We're not in New York anymore. We're in this small little town that has maybe 100 people living there from what it seems like. And we're going to Spengler's kind of farmhouse after the main character's mom gets evicted from her apartment. And this is what she's has left over from Spengler after he has passed away, both in the actual movie and unfortunately also in real life. And I like the setting because it gets away from the whole New York setting, and that's what makes all these movies very familiar. Is that we're always going to be in New York, we're always in the same situations, the same kind of plots happen, and really the biggest thing that makes this one feel similar is that the main villain from the first movie is back again. You know, we have Gorzo trying to come back, trying to rule the earth again, trying to, unleash all these ghosts out again. You know, similarly, where you have the female character and the male character that kind of have a thing with each other. They become like the gatekeeper and the key. I can't even think of what they're trying to say. It was the gatekeeper and the key something. I can't remember off the top of my head right now for some reason. But there's just a lot of similarities in terms of the boss itself. But the overall story is a little bit different. And that's what I like about it. Where people, it's not that they don't necessarily believe or not believe in the Ghostbusters, that it has been so long since a ghost has been sighted ever that it kind of became irrelevant. They're not trying to deny it no more. They're not trying to say that they don't exist. It's more so, it hasn't really been an issue in a very long time. And when things start kind of popping off here in this little small town, then people start kind of getting back into their things like, oh, the Ghostbusters need to come back, essentially. And I like the new cast here where you have, of course, like I said, Spengler's granddaughter as one of the new Ghostbusters in a way. You have Finn Wolfhard playing Spengler's grandson. And he's also part of the whole kind of mess that's going on as well. And then, of course, you have the original cast kind of coming back and helping them out throughout the entire film. More towards the third act than anything, but you do have a little glimpse of them here and there. And it's unfortunate that Harold, the person that plays Spengler in the original Ghostbusters, did pass away before they were able to make a new Ghostbusters. That is very unfortunate, but I do think that they did a really good job of kind of keeping his legacy and not, tarnishing what he kind of brought to the Ghostbusters franchise. I think the beginning opening scene was very intense. I like the way they kind of did that. They did it in a way that you have to kind of go that route because it's very difficult to get someone that even looks like him or even try to even imagine having to cast someone to portray him. I do like how he kind of comes back in the third act to help the main character defeat the final boss. And the only thing that I didn't like about it, and it's unfortunate because there's no fault on the creators, there's no fault on Harold himself, but he never speaks at all. Even when you do see him, he doesn't speak at all. And I understand that it's hard to get someone that will sound like him. I feel like it would be kind of a disservice if you got AI to make a rendering of his voice and give him dialogue. So it's unfortunate that it has to be that way, but I do really appreciate the way they kind of kept his legacy and didn't tarnish anything from that. And I do think Paul Rudd is a really good addition to the casting here. He's kind of the more comedic relief out of everything, and then having at least one adult, because the rest of them are pretty much kids, having one adult to kind of guide them is pretty fun as well. And I gotta give props to him. This has nothing to do with the story or anything like that, but Towards the beginning, he's a substitute teacher, or he's a teacher for the summer class, and he shows them first one Kojo, which is a cool movie as well. But he shows them Child's Play 1. He's showing his class Child's Play 1 while he does whatever he wants to do. So that's definitely points in my book, because Chucky's my boy. So just seeing that was put a smile on my face, and I thought that was pretty funny that they included that. But I thought this movie was just great. You know, bringing back the original cast, even if it was just for a little bit, to help at the end or anything like that, it definitely brings a smile on my face. I love that they're continuing the storyline and the legacy of the original Ghostbusters, and I'm really, really excited for Frozen Empire. This watching Afterlife right now made me more excited for Frozen Empire, and made me excited to do my ranking and everything like that, because this movie was honestly a blast to watch. The special effects are amazing. Just like kind of the 2016 one, they obviously hold up a lot better because technology has, you know, increased, and now having the special effects to be this good, it makes it for a very enjoyable watch and a very pleasing watch. You know, there's a lot of the camera work was really nice. A lot of the imagery and the shots that they kind of took was super awesome. So just seeing everything kind of come back to life and come back to fruition, you know, seeing the original Ghostbusters car, seeing the original packs and everything like that, and it was just a very nice homage to the original story, while also keeping the storyline going forward and feeling refreshing, while still having some similarities. But it's very refreshing to see what Afterlife kind of brought to the table. Now going on to the cons, and really the only con I can really say here, and it bugs me when movies kind of take this direction. I kind of understand why they did it this way, but no one seems to react crazy to any of the ghosts. You know, like even when the main character is kind of talking in a way with Spengler, you know, beyond seeing him, she doesn't really react when he kind of pops up and starts manipulating like some of the lights or moving the chess pieces. She doesn't respond in a way that you would think someone to respond. And she even says it towards the beginning of the movie that she reacts differently to normal people. Her emotions are very suppressed and doesn't really show it. But even beyond that, some like Finn Wolfhard or even the mother don't really react in a way you would expect someone to react to being encountered with a ghost when they've never encountered something like that ever in their entire life. So it has nothing to do with the acting. I'm sure it was stylistically a choice, and because the acting was you know, great all across the board. I think everybody did a fine job. It's just some of those reactions were kind of weird. It reminds me of something like Jordan Peele's Nope, when they see the alien for the first time in the clouds, and he just goes, like he doesn't freak out, he doesn't scream, he doesn't start running. It's just kind of more like a okay, I guess this is happening now, you know. So it's just a strange reaction, but I think overall it was still pretty fine. Let me know what you guys thought about Ghostbusters Afterlife. Is this one of the favorite ones of the franchise? I'm not sure. I can't wait to do my ranking. Does this make you also more excited for the Frozen Empire movie that we're coming here in a couple of weeks, or actually a week from now, I think? So I'm really excited to see Frozen Empire. Let me know what you guys think about Afterlife and all the Ghostbusters franchise. Once I do my ranking, make sure to share with me your guys' ranking of all the Ghostbusters movies. And again, if you guys like talking about anything movies, TV shows, or video game related, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys on the next review. Thank you.